first would like to start off this video by giving a huge thank you to Cobb Tuning for providing me with all these parts to review for you guys today. What's up everybody, Superdorks fan here, and today I'm reviewing the Cobb Stage 3 package. Now, those of you that have already been following this car, have already seen my review of the Cobb cold air intake, which is one of the components of the Stage 3 that of course is a map that you run with the Cobb access port, and the other parts that are included, which this car is now running, is the Cobb front mount intercooler, the Cobb downpipe, which is catted in my application, and then also the rest of the exhaust, the catback portion. So full turbo back exhaust, intercooler, and intake, and then you flash the Stage 3 map, and I can give you the link in the description below for all the Cobb stuff, as far as, they have their dyno charts and all the numbers and all the prices and all that kind of stuff. It's now available for you to go ahead and order, and it's a really sweet package. So I've only had it on the car for roughly, I'd say 12 hours or so, and it's really great. So first I want to talk about the intercooler and the whole install process of that. It's actually not too bad. Now, I had all these parts installed by an installer over the course. He did it on the side over the course of a few nights, and so as far as estimated times, I think if you gave yourself an entire day, you'd be able to do it. But it's definitely involved, because for the front mount intercooler to start off with, you have to take off the front bumper to get to it. I think there's a way you can do it without taking the front bumper off, but it's just easier to take the front bumper off and do it that way, because you do have to make a few slight little modifications to the front end for the intercooler. Now, it's the same width and I guess the same rough setup as the stock intercooler. It's just obviously much deeper, as you can see from the pictures of the two of them there. It's just so much bigger than the stock one, but it actually fits in there very much like a stock part. The only thing that my installer said he had to do was, there are fuel economy gills that kind of open and close in the grill of the EcoBoost Mustang, and the lower portion of the grill, those got in the way of the intercooler, so he had to remove those. The top ones and the upper part of the grill are still functional, but he had to remove that. He also had to trim a few little pieces of metal, and I guess some things that Ford put down there for airflow purposes, but he actually removed those to allow for better flow of air to the intercooler, now that I have this larger Cobb intercooler. But otherwise, he said everything is like super high quality. He was blown away. I mean, this guy's been installing parts for a long time, and he was really blown away by the quality of everything. It's really, Cobb is really top notch as far as the fit and finish, and everything is very well thought out, so that's really great. And then as far as the rest of the whole package, the cold air intake, you can watch my review on that for all my thoughts on that. But as far as the downpipe, it fit really great. Now, mine was one of the very early ones that didn't have a bracket, so my installer fabbed up a quick little bracket just to hold it into place better. But the ones that will go into production and ship to you guys who order it will have a bracket there that's obviously not more refined and more finished off than the one that I'm currently running. But otherwise, the downpipe is really high quality, and you can see just from the shots of the stock catback. Now, moving on to talking about the exhaust portion, the stock catback is very windy there towards the end, and has lots of unnecessary curves, and the pipes are of course smaller. This is obviously 3 inches all the way through, and then you have the 4-inch tips there that really look great. And so the whole exhaust setup with Cobb is much more streamlined, a lot more direct, and obviously a lot more efficient, and able to move the exhaust gases much better. And so it's I think a very good improvement. It's also lighter than the factory setup as well, of course, with that huge factory resonator, getting rid of that. And this still has resonators and mufflers and, like I said, catalytic converters and everything in the downpipe, so it's still very much refined. And that kind of leads me into the sound of this exhaust, which sounds really great. Now, on cold startup, to me it almost sounds like a Fiat 500 Abarth. Whenever you first start it up, but then once it mellows down, it sounds like the Focus RS from the videos that I've seen of that, very similar, and that should be the case because it's a very similar engine with just a larger turbo on it. But it sounds like that. It has a very muscular and deep sound. Now, a lot of the other exhaust systems out there for the EcoBoost, I actually despise. They either sound like a dump truck to me, or they just have way too much rasp and kind of sound chintzy. It has no rasp whatsoever. It's a very bassy and very nice sound, but it's refined because I said you got all those mufflers and things in there, so it's not super loud. I would say it's probably, now I haven't heard any other of aftermarket exhaust for the EcoBoost here in person, so I can't really say 100%, but I would say based off of what I've seen and heard, this is probably one of the quieter ones. But you get on it and it'll open up and get loud, and it is a little bit boomy even at like highway speeds. I wouldn't call it drone, but it's certainly got some bass and some boom to it, and so it's a very, you definitely know you have an exhaust 100%. There is no way this will pass as anything remotely close to stock, but like I have the clutch in now and I'm just coasting and it sounds totally silent, and just cruising here, second gear, slowly through a park, you can barely hear it. So it's a really good combination, I think, of the best of both worlds, really. And I'm pretty impressed with the whole setup so far. It's just everything is super nice looking. The only other thing I can mention though is my installer also said that there isn't too much adjustability with the catback portion, and if you look at my exhaust tips, the passenger side one does come out a slight bit more than the driver's side. Those that are OCD, that might drive them nuts. There is, you can probably play around with that a little bit to adjust it a little bit more to your liking if that really bothers you. But I mean, everything fit perfectly. He said everything was really, really well done, and overall it's a great package. And of course, this isn't just for the sound and just for it to look like eye candy. You have also the great performance benefits of being able to run the Stage 3 tune that also gives you much more power. It should be very respectable power once they finalize all the power figures. I don't have that information currently on hand to give you guys, but you can check out their website and they will have all that information once they have it posted up there. But yeah, it's a really, really cool kit, and like I said, just these are my very, very first impressions. Definitely subscribe to the channel and stay tuned for further thoughts in the weekly updates, and much more videos. I'll be doing point of view videos of this exhaust and driving with this package on. All right, so believe it or not, I haven't actually done a full throttle acceleration yet. I was waiting to save my first reaction to this new power for you guys here for this review. So let's turn onto the straight road here and see how it does. Here we go. Woo-hoo, wheel spinning first, wheel spinning second. Woo-hoo. Okay, it's fast. Yeah, so the big difference now you get with the Cobb Stage 1 tune, it gives you tons of low-end torque and just really magnifies and amplifies the stock feeling a ton. With the mods, with the intercooler and the downpipe and the exhaust, now it is able to breathe better up top, and so you have more top end, and it gives you a much more natural sensation and a little bit more of a traditional turbocharged feel while still giving you, there's tons of power all the way through the power band here. Low end there's a ton, but it was just amazing to me just how much there was there up top. And so yeah, let's do another acceleration. And here we go again. Yeah, that top end, man, it's crazy how much it really kicks in more in that top end. Wow, that's exciting. It because like I said, originally with this car stock, you get tons of excitement down low, but this, it gets more and more exciting the more that you rev it out. And yes, okay, this is gonna be fun. Yeah, so fantastic job by Cobb on the tuning as well as on all the parts. It sounds fantastic too at full bore like that. I gotta say, really awesome. So yeah, like I said, definitely stay tuned for more thoughts on this exhaust over the coming weeks and months and my experiences with it all in the long term. But I gotta say, first impressions, this stuff is all really high quality and really well put together, and it makes for a very, very exciting driving experience. And for those that were looking for the top end in this car, this package will give it to you in spades, by the way. I mean, it's fast. It's really, really impressive. And I've driven my fair share of fast cars, so it's not something I say lightly. This is definitely much quicker and much more exciting. Now I actually want to rev the car. Before it was like, you can shift at like $5,000 and you get most of the power out of it. This, it's like, no, you want to take it all the way up past 6 because it just gets better and better the more you keep your foot in it. So yeah, overall, it's a really, really well done kit. Definitely, check out the links in the description below for all the information from Cobb on these parts, and the links to purchase these parts if you're so interested. Yeah, it's I really can't say enough good things about it. But anyway, thank you guys very much for watching. Let me know your thoughts on the sound and the whole package in general. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Take care.